I grabbed the diapers, I walked, panic set in like instantly in that moment because I had no idea what tree just broke. And my kids were in the car. This is a harder video to make than I thought. And never brought to mind. Hello everybody and welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Paisley. I have two little children, age almost 3, crazy, and 1.5. I'm a single mom, obviously not like fully, they see their dad. Anyways, that has nothing to do with this video. So we're just gonna jump into this video. Obviously you can see by the thumbnail, something insane happened in my life recently. So that put things on the back burner for a little while. The last vlog that I put up was me getting back into vlogging finally. I did a grocery haul, and then the day after I filmed that video is when this incident happened. So I just wanted to kind of update you guys and explain a little bit on what happened. I'm going to explain the thumbnail so you guys can kind of understand what went on, and then we're gonna jump back into like regular vlogs and stuff. I just wanted to post this video after I put up the grocery haul just so you guys could kind of understand what's going on, because there's been a lot of changes and I didn't want to just like pick up the camera like nothing happened. So I kind of wanted to talk about this. I'm going to do my best not to cry, but no promises because talking about it is kind of hard sometimes. So okay, so I'm basically gonna start by explaining a couple weeks prior to this happening. Where I live, there's a lot of trees and a lot of rain and wind and stuff like that, and so for the last 2 weeks before this happened, I had been worried about trees around us falling because we live in a travel trailer and there was a lot of trees around it, and so that was just a big fear that I had already embedded in my head. And I would be laying in bed and I would hear the wind because we were having a lot of like heavy winds for a lot of nights before this happened. Sorry, I'm having a hard time finding words right now. It's been a minute since I've like sat down and done like this kind of video. Also, I'm in my car. I've decided life updates happen in my car. That's just like where they happen. So anyway, getting off track already. I had been worried about trees falling. Like I said, I would be going to bed and I'd hear the wind and it sounded so aggressive and I was so scared of a tree falling, and I would talk to people and they'd be like, "You're fine, it's gonna be okay, don't worry about that." And so it would calm me down and I'd be like, okay, but something in me felt like it was going to happen. So anyways, the day that this happened, obviously you guys can kind of see where this is going from the thumbnail and whatnot. I'm not set it yet because I want to wait until I get to that point. So it was April 20th, the day that this happened, and I had woken up and it was a very, very windy day, and I decided the kids and I were just going to have a PJ day and stay home and watch movies and stuff. And so we didn't get dressed. We were just chilling in our jammies, hanging out, which we never do because I'm very much a person that likes to get dressed every single day and like go and do stuff. That's just how I am. I don't like to sit and stay at home, especially in jammies, like ever. Very rare occasion. So I decided why not, because it was a very stormy day. There was no reason for us to go anywhere. We didn't need anything, so we were staying put. That changed pretty quickly when I looked out the window and seen, anytime it had been windy for a couple weeks prior to this, I was sleeping, or like it was nighttime, so I couldn't see the trees moving like at all, so I didn't actually know. And so I looked at the window and I remember recording a Snapchat and sent it to some friends, and I had said like, these trees are really freaking me out because I could see them moving. But anyways, I kind of just put it in the back of my mind for a little bit and I didn't want to like worry too much, but it kept getting worse. It was 70 kilometers an hour winds that day, and we're surrounded by trees in a travel trailer. So I texted my mom and I said, would it be safer, do you think, if we left? Because I figured if we had drove, because I didn't want to drive in the windstorm. That's why I didn't want to leave, because it seemed sketchy to drive into. So I questioned leaving because I wasn't sure if that was going to be worse or not. And so I had messaged my mom just for an opinion on if it would be safer for us to leave the travel trailer or and go into town, or just stay put where we were. And she had agreed with me and said probably better to leave just in case, you know. I had also messaged, if you guys don't know or don't follow my channel at all, we were living on the kids' dad's property. To put that into terms, their grandpa's property. Sorry, Papa is what they call him. Anyways, so we were living on his property, so I had messaged him and I had said, I actually, 2 hours before this happened, I messaged him and I said, should I be worried about the trees falling? And he said, I haven't had one fall in the last 15 years that I've lived here, but if you're worried about it, you can go over to the house, which I guess, putting it into terms now, I probably should have just taken them over to the house. However, I didn't. I was going to leave so that we could have the kids fall asleep because it was their nap time. I kind of planned this all in what I thought a smart way. I wanted them to be able to sleep, which in the car they usually fall asleep. If we're in town, we were able to access things like food and whatever. My granny lived in town, so we could go over there. And so I made the kids lunch. I made sure we ate so that we weren't like buying a bunch of food out, just so we didn't have to, you know, obviously it's there. So I made lunch, we ate, we were watching a movie, and then I packed up the kids. And this is where it gets a little hard to talk about, but I'm going to try. This only happened like literally a month ago, so it is still kind of fresh, and so what I'm about to say is kind of hard to talk about, but I got this. I put the kids in the car. I turned the car on, started it, was warming it up. I always do this. This is just my routine. I will put the kids in first, start the car, and then grab whatever else we need and then go. So I put them in the car. I went back inside of the trailer to go get the diapers and wipes that I had on the counter right by the door. I left the door to the trailer open, obviously, because I was just grabbing and going. So I grabbed the diapers, I walk out the door, and I hear a tree crack. Panic set in like instantly in that moment because I had no idea what tree just broke, and my kids were in the car. Now, usually I park in a completely different spot too. Before I explain the rest, I usually park in a completely different spot than I did, and the day prior I had gotten groceries. Like, if you guys have seen the last video I put up, that's a grocery haul. This was literally the day before this happened, and I backed in that day so that it would be easier for me to get my groceries out. And that literally pretty much saved my kids' lives because I had no idea what tree it was about to fall, and so I panicked and I went and I grabbed the car door and I started getting the kids out. And if I had parked anywhere else, it would have been too late because, sorry, a massive tree fell right in front of our faces. Noah faces forward in his car seat. Hate me if you want, he's almost 3. So he had to see it happen, and we watched this tree fall. Sorry, I'm having a hard time explaining this story because I keep getting upset, but I'm going to try to finish this. So yes, a massive tree. I don't want to just say tree because it was not small. It was not small. It caused some damage. Thankfully I parked the way I did because it, like I said, like it would have literally fell right where the kids were sitting, which I don't even like to think about, let alone talk about. So moving on from that, because I parked the way I did, it didn't hit us, but I didn't know it didn't. I thought that it hit the front of the car because I wasn't like worried about that in that moment, obviously. So once it fell, I grabbed the kids out, turned the car off, and ran over to my ex's dad's house with the kids, just so I knew we were safe. And then I definitely like sat on the floor and like bawled my eyes out because just realizing what just happened and what could have happened was like way too much for my head. And so, you know, I let it out a bit, and then I went outside. I left the kids in the house because obviously I didn't want to put them in danger, so I went outside because I needed to go see like where it fell, what happened. Still didn't know if it hit my car or not, which if you guys don't know, I just got my car back like in January, and so I was like freaking out about that. So I walked over and I seen where the tree fell, took a picture, sent it to my ex's dad, and he was there in like a second because like I had just asked him 2 hours before that if I should be worried about this, and then it happened, which was just like, I just knew, like, follow your instincts because usually they're right, and thank God I did. Obviously, like, the timing of everything was so insanely just because if we had driven, like if I had gotten in the car when I was going to, if I didn't have to go back in to grab stuff, we could have been under that tree because I would have been driving when it happened. So thank God for everything working out the way it did. But yeah, I sent him a picture and he said, holy, we're not gonna say that on here because I don't feel like bleeping it out. He came right away and like dealt with it, but the tree fell onto the propane tanks, which were on the front of the trailer, pulled the trailer down, caused everything inside to fall, glass broke. It definitely did some damage to it, but it didn't damage my kids. I am so thankful that it fell where it did, but obviously it did like mess up our life a little bit. But in a sense it made it better, so I'm not going to sit here and like dwell on what happened because I know it's okay to cry, but I like just did my makeup and I don't want to mess it up, and that's like why I did my makeup, so that I wouldn't cry. But here I am. This is a harder video to make than I thought. So it fell on the propane tanks. It pulled one of the propane tanks halfway into the ground. So that tank was completely gone. And thankfully I like hadn't filled these tanks because it could have maybe, I don't know, maybe not, but in my head, as soon as I seen it was on the propane tanks, I panicked about like a fire and explosions and stuff. So he came and dealt with the tree like right away. And anyways, right after this happened, I went to go visit some family in Alberta, which wasn't like because of the tree, it was already planned kind of thing. So we didn't have to stay there, luckily. The kids went with their dad that night because I didn't want them to be there. I didn't want to be there. I came to my sister's that night because obviously I was not about to sleep there. And then I was just trying to figure out where we were going to go, what we were going to do after that, because I didn't want the kids to be there at all. So luckily we had that trip to Alberta, and we went there, and then when we came back, they went back to their dads, so they did not have to be there at all while I tried to figure out what we were going to do. I stayed with friends. I ended up staying at the trailer one night because I had to, and that was a really rough night. I was definitely panicked about anything happening. I feel like I'm so all over the place with this video. I'm sorry, I'm trying to collect my thoughts. It's not going very well. Anyways, update on what's going on with our lives now. We have not had to go back there to sleep there. I've gone back to take a few things. Basically, we are moving out. We are staying with my sister right now in a different town, which sucks because I don't want to be in this town at all. I miss where we lived. I weirdly love it there, even though I hated it there before, but I've kind of just like gotten, you know, I've gone into a routine there, and I like it. I loved, you know, my days with the kids there. So we are here for right now. We've applied for some housing. Don't know when we're going to get in, and so we're here until then, until further notice. I still work in that town, and the kids still go to their dads in that town, so I drive there every Friday to drop the kids off. I've been staying with friends or my granny on the weekends while I work and while the kids are with their dad. So it's, you know, it's worked out in a sense. That tree was kind of a blessing in disguise because I didn't want to be in the trailer anymore, and it was getting really hard mentally to be in such a small space with 2 little children. So in a way, it definitely was like a good, you know, not a good thing to happen, but it got us out of there, and so I am thankful for that. But it was definitely traumatizing. It's still really hard to talk about, clearly. So it was terrifying. I really thought I was going to lose my kids, and I never want to feel that way again. I try my best to protect them from any dangers. Obviously that was out of my reach. That was nature's doing. It was a very rotten tree, we found out, so scary because it could have like fell at any moment while the kids were outside. So many factors that just are so hard to even think about, but we're all okay, we're all alive. I am trying to get us back up on our feet, you know. It's really nice being in a bigger space for the kids and for myself, so I am so thankful we're able to be here. I'm thankful I had someone to go to and say, hey, like, can we stay with you? So it's definitely really nice being here, but I don't like this town. I don't want to be here. I have friends in the other town. I have my job. You know, my life is there, so I don't want to stay here very long, but that's kind of not in my control. We have to wait until we get into this housing. So yeah, that's kind of a little life update. I wanted to explain to you guys what happened rather than just like picking up the camera, vlogging like nothing happened. So sorry that was so scattered and all over the place. I thought I was going to do better than that. I didn't think I was going to get that emotional that many times, but it was definitely a very traumatic experience. And my son too, like, he's brought it up. I don't talk about it in front of him at all because I don't want him to remember it, but he's almost 3 and he's going to remember it. That's his trauma, that he had to watch it happen too, so it was definitely scary for him. The kids, like, surprisingly were very good about the whole situation. Like, neither of them cried. I tried to be very calm during the moment because I didn't want to work them up. Obviously when we got in the house I did cry, but not like when the tree fell. I didn't cry at all. I didn't freak out because I didn't want them to, because obviously, like, we had just been in an accident a few months prior to this, so it was a lot for them and I didn't want to make it worse. So I was very calm throughout the whole thing, up until, you know, I like got in the house and then broke down a little bit, which is honestly fair. And then, yeah, so when I forgot to mention this, when I did go check the tree, I didn't even pay attention to my car. So when my ex's dad showed up after, that's when I finally was like, I really need to know, like, if it hit my car. So I walked over and checked it out, and he was dealing with the tree, and I look, and you guys, I cannot even believe how lucky we got, because I just got this thing back. The tree, my car was here, like, if you guys can't really tell in the thumbnail, my car was like here and the tree is here, so it missed it by that much, and I can't even like explain how thankful I am that I backed in the day before, because that saved everything. That saved my kids, that saved my car, that saved so much. But the tree did hit the trailer, it dented it, it pulled it down, so obviously like caused some damage internally. The walls are like warping, so don't want to stay there, don't want to be there. Figuring everything out, and yeah, is what it is. We're gonna move on from it. Sucks that it happened, but also thankful that we're not there anymore. I do miss that property for the kids though. Obviously it was really nice having the space for them, but it is what it is. Life goes on. We are here, we're alive, they're safe, we're good, and I'm thankful. So we're gonna get back into regular vlogs. Obviously this video is already up, which means the grocery haul is already up, but neither of those are up yet for me right now. Today is May 24th, so I'm trying to get like some videos done, filmed, edited, before I get back into just like regular vlogging every week. And so this video goes up, obviously I'll have some vlogs already done, but at this moment as I'm sitting here talking to you, I don't have any, so I need to start filming again and getting back into the groove, because I don't want to fall behind. And I know if I just put this video up and then say, hey, well now I have to vlog, like, I don't want to have to. That's like the whole reason why I like I always end up taking breaks is because I get stressed, and then, you know, I want to actually enjoy this. I do love doing it, and so I need to get caught up first, and then we will be back into our regular vlogging. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this update, you guys. Just wanted to update you on where we are and what's going on since that happened. And all that stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave some comments down below, nice ones please. If you're not subscribed to our channel, make sure you do so before you leave so you can see our upcoming vlogs and keep updated on our lives. I can't wait to finally like have this video done. I've been putting it off for a while for the exact reason of I knew I was going to get emotional, and now it's done, so we're good. We can move on from this and everything's gonna be good. I hope you guys have a great day, night, morning, whatever time it is where you are, and I will talk to you guys next time in our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.